case and its sensitivity and how the courts have also treated it?
Vinitji, certainly it's a case is under Supreme Court supervision. So we will not comment on the Supreme Court because everybody can have bail and can get the bail because it's a right of every person. But earlier Chief Justice also mentioned about it. But I think there will be a case, certainly. They have asked to inquiry in details. But about the theory of these kind of doubts, I will just mention the other background also. But before that, in this statement, what he mentioned, the optics of two women, soldiers presenting their findings, and important. But optics must transfer to reality on the ground. Otherwise, it is just hypocrisy. You see, this is the real serious comment what I feel when you are talking Sindoor operation, when talking the national security, when I talk about the army and the women army officers, very senior officers, commander, and they represent India. And that time when they are briefing, you include and involve them on the lynching and these kind of domestic politics. Last few months, we have not heard anything about the lynching. But the person who is a professor, certainly I have respect for anybody who is a professor at Ashoka University or any other university. So academically, I am not commenting about his personal record or something. Maybe earlier also in the social media, we found that who was his father and who was his grandfather, who was in Pakistan. So I'm not going to personal because one can in India, Pakistan, it was united. And at the time, maybe some family member here or there. But you see, these kind of statements create doubt. And if you're a professor or journalist, I think, Vinit, if you remember, I always mention you that even as a journalist, media person, we also go to a number of places and meet people, but our accreditation should be very clear. So in the name of just the name of the media or name of the professor or name of the doctor, especially nowadays we are also having an Naxali operation, which is like the same thing, which is terrorism. So these people who work as a professor, they indirectly, not him, I'm not over him, but the principle when the inquiry should be there for everybody, including us. If there's some doubt about our activities, we are a movement, we do something wrong. Expression is our right in our constitution, but expression doesn't mean that you can expose anything, you discuss anti-racial, you talk anything immorally. And I think number of provisions are there, depend on the court also. But otherwise, the inquiry must be there. Because I know the few people in the background who were helping Naxali or the terrorists, and they were in the name of the journalists. They were moving around with ISI or the Chinese one journalist last year, sometime arrested. Everybody knows the case, Chinese scandal. So, one Jyoti Malhotra case or the professor's case, I think the inquiry should be there. And there should be objection also about his statement. Why he can just say, okay, there is something what the Omar Abdullah or Owaisi, they are not talking like in this stuff, but they are also senior leaders. One professor, he is not supposed to talk in politics in such a way. As a right, what you do? You are misusing your right, and you are defaming others, and you are just optics means, आप कठपुतली हैं. You are utilizing as a mukhota. In Hindi, what we call it, you just want to show something, but your real face in India. So you give a message to Pakistan and other anti-India forces. When you go to United Nations, the people are going, the delegations are going, and they will say, okay, Ashok, university very famous and very prestigious university. Your professor himself said that in India, people are suffering. That's why people are becoming a terrorist or supporting the Pakistan forces, or even they got attacked because of the Pahalgam. I have seen some statement like this also. The Pahalgam attack because of the Muslims were suffering. These kind of statements we can't say it's naturally it is a treachery. It's a very much against the India. I'm not talking about it, and that's why they should inquiry what is the background, what type of writing he was doing, and then whom he is helping. Somebody hide in his house, also it's possible. His or anybody's house. I know the journalist was in Rajasthan, very senior journalist. Now he's no more. But one Naxalite, very lady, was in very serious charges, and she was hiding in, and somebody informed him that she left from the house. So these kind of cases I know, that's why I'm mentioning media also. I know the professor, they were working in a Delhi University. wife of a very senior journalist. And then charge was there that how she was helping some forces. And in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee time, ultimately because of the journalist wife, somebody just got released. Otherwise, it was also a very serious case. One can go to the record. I'm not naming the people, but I say the professor of somebody's family also, they should be very responsible. If they are from a family member or they themselves a professor or academic or doctors, any professional or a businessman, they should be more protective for our Indian interests, not the interests of in the name of the welfare, in the name of the human rights. And human rights, the record I know, this kind of, and how much funding they were getting. The case of Newsx is still there. This is also in the court. But we have also discussed so many times. So that's what I'm saying. In the way of just saying that you are a professor, that's why the court is very liberal in that sense. Okay, we have got enough evidence. But I think the action should be there, very serious action, because if you are involving army, security forces of India, it's not in the United States or in the United Kingdom when you can talk. Can you speak something against the judges here? But you can publish photographs or even the cartoon against the judges in Britain. So when we talk about our right of the expression, why don't you follow the American and Britain? British, they have allowed that you can publish any type of cartoon and against the judges. Here you can't do this. So there's a limitation for judiciary. There's a limitation about the media. There's a limitation for anybody. Constitution is above and nation is above all.
Gautam, what do you make of this letter that was written by this professor? It of course talked about